Well, here I am on the banks of Sugar Creek, close to home. I stayed here all night. It stormed all night. It's raining now. It's slacked off quite a bit. I'll be leaving before long, but I just caught a 15-pound common, give or take. I mean, nothing major, but he was, for this creek, it's a big one. He put up a fight. Man, that thing he was a fighter. Gosh. But I just changed to these Nash Float-A-Claw hooks because I was getting hook poles from the ones I really like the shape of. They're long shanked. The ones I like the shape of are the long shanked ESP Cryogen trig hammers. I mean, they just look freaking awesome. The hooks are razor sharp. But I've had hook poles the last 2 times I've been down here. I lost one this morning from a hook pole, a nice one, on a 24 mil boilie. I'm not sure how big it was, but this 15-pounder fought like he was 30, so it's hard to tell him how big that one I was lost. You know, it's always the big one that gets away, but it really did. I mean, it probably couldn't, it may not have been any bigger than that 15-pounder, but it sure felt like a good one. Yeah, so this thing, I mean, it took hold, man. I had a hard time getting a hook out of his lip once I had hooked him in good and deep too. Apparently you don't need the long hook shanks to reach clear back in their lip like that. I caught it on, let's see, that one was Rui GP flavored field corn I'd boiled and flavored myself with some Rui GP from, I forget, Spotted Fin maybe? I can't remember the name. It's like South Africa company flavor. And I made some Corda goo out of it. It's a goo I made. I found it on the internet, a recipe, copying off of Corda's thing with stuff. But I'm sitting in this Solar Compact Spider bivy. This thing's awesome. Kept me dry, nothing to worry about. I don't have the ground sheet in it. I do have a ground sheet. It's got this mozzie mesh, they call it front. It's a mosquito net front door that closes with a magnetic thing. So you just, if you get a bite when it's closed and you're trying to keep the bugs out of you, you go right through it and it opens up for this magnets hold it closed. As soon as you get through it, it freaking comes back closed and the magnets close it on itself and hold it shut, so it keeps the bugs out. I mean, it keeps them to a minimum. I'm not sure it doesn't keep them out completely. I always thought I wouldn't want one without a ground sheet, but I kind of like this. I set it up anywhere I want. There's rocks and everything all around me. I mean, it's a mess, but it's set up easy in less than a minute. I had this thing set up and it was, you know, I've done it in the dark before, and I'm not kidding you, it's less than a minute. I have this thing set up and start putting stuff in it. And it keeps dry. It's a good, solid one. And I haven't been in it. It was hot yesterday. I didn't have my back vent open. I should have, but I've lost one of the cords that hooked to it to help hold it open. I mean, you can open it up wide open, or you can have it where it just, so if it rains, you can still vent. But yeah, it's awesome. I'm using this thing right here, for my phone is this thing right here. I seen it on Carpology. They advertise this, or talked about this. It's for your phone. This thing Bluetooths to your phone, so you hit this button right here for, if you have an iPhone, you use this button. If you have your an Android phone and it's compatible, it uses this button. But all you do is you have it set up in this tripod that comes with it, your phone, and put your phone on video like I did now, and I can start recording video and stop recording video, or I can put it in timer mode, so I don't have to hold this while I'm taking the picture. I can put it on 10 seconds, what I did, my camera. It's not through this, it's through your phone. You just set your phone up for a 10-second timer, hook it up, then when I hit this, I got 10 seconds to pick the fish up and take photos. Well, I forgot my landing mat because I was in a hurry. I wasn't really planning on fishing today, but we've been without power for 2 days. because a massive storm came through. So I got off work and decided, heck, I'm just gonna go to the creek. It's not a power, might as well just go sail in the creek without power. And so here I am, but this here makes it so I can go out there in the water. I don't have that landing mat. It worked the landing mat too, but I just take it out there in the water and just release, or leave him out there in the water. I just went up from the landing net. I just push this button, pick him up out of there, unhook him from there, and then hold him up and take my photos. And it works great. The water's warm, it's shallow right here in front of me. It's a little deep hole there. I say deep. This creek, 3 feet, between 3 and 4, I doubt if it's 4 feet, but over there in that deepest spot. It's just a deep channel here in this creek, so they gather in those little channels, man. That's where these holes. Yeah, and I've caught 2 suckers this morning, 2 white suckers, small ones on the left for a white sucker, probably average size. And last night I caught 2 carp. One of them was 10 pounds, the other one I didn't weigh it, but he was, I don't know, 5 pounds maybe. And then, but man, they put up a fight in this creek. That last one I caught, man, he went way up the creek. He come down. He just did not want to give up. Right up to the net, he was fighting. I've been seeing gar come to the top out here constantly, you know, the bunch, and grass carp. They come up here. They come up here on the shallow side, and I keep seeing groups of them, big ones, at least 20 pounders, maybe a little bigger, coming back and forth through here in little groups of 2 and 3, sometimes singles, but usually they're in groups, and they just travel along here. And I thought, dang, you're getting active. I keep expecting, because sometimes I catch them. I haven't caught none this trip. I haven't caught none out of here yet this year. Grass carp, I'm surprised. There's a lot in here. This place is overrun with them. It's got too many. But I don't know if it's really caused any harm to the creek any. Yeah, it probably has done, just made it different, I'm sure. But the rigs I'm using is, they are turbo German rigs that I tied up. See if I got any handy. I was using long, I don't have any with the Nash hooks on them. But you can see what I've got here. This is basically what I'm using. I don't like these tail rubbers on this particular one. I don't know, here we go. This has got a good tail rubber. Yeah, the turbo German rig right here. And this is the Trig Hammer hook. And this is a big one, because I was using this with that 24 mil boil, so I thought I'd want a big hook. So it's a number 4 hook, Trig Hammer long shank by ESP. Good hooks. I mean, I like them. It hooks them, but they pull out. I don't know if it's because of that real little bitty micro shoot, what do they call those? Your barb. But they seem to pull, and maybe I just got lucky on this Nash hook, but I haven't. I'll find out. I'll use it more. I'll start using them, tying them, and getting some bigger ones. I'll buy more. But I use this little. I use one of these swivels right here. This little. I don't know if you can see that or not. That right there is a little ring swivel. It slides up down. I got the hook bead that stops it up here at the top, about right there. I make it so that my shrink tube, I like it to be right there at that eye, because sometimes I'll put, if I got that shrink tube coming too far, I'm afraid this thing will slide over the top of it. And I'll put a hook bead right here. Seen somewhere about that. And I don't like to have my shrink tube cover my barrel right here of the thing. So it's just to hold that hook on. And with these hooks, I did not put any aggressive thing on them. And also with no aggressive angle when I heat shrinked it. Because this already has a pretty good curve. But you can see this thing won't let it tangle. That's the advantage of using this stiff hook link material, which is it's fluorocarbon. I think it's 20 pound, 20 or 25 pound fluorocarbon. Oh yeah, it's Gardner 20 pound, 0.4 mil. That's what I'm making these hook links out of. I like it because it's good and stiff. I'm using corn on them. I like to use at least one with a boilie and try to see if I can convince them. But you can see my entire hook link is not that long. It's, I don't know, 8 inches, 6 inches. I use some long ones in the creek here. If it's running in current and it's got moss blowing, I like a longer one so the moss will catch up here and it won't cover. My hook bait will still usually be there. But you can see how that, it doesn't fall back on itself and get tangled. If you try to use a bottom bait with the, oh, what's it called? I've got to use those too. With the ones that swivel here, so you can let them, if you let it swivel right here at all, then it'll curve back and it'll lay on top of itself and get tangled. So you tie this tight to this swivel right here. It still gets, you can still turn. That's what makes it the turbo German rig, because the regular German rig does not use this swivel. It ties directly to the hook. Is that right? Yeah, it doesn't use the swivel. That's the difference. But it uses this swivel. That's what makes it a turbo German, or a German rig, is this thing right here. Instead of having a hair, you got this that runs up and down. I like it better than the hair. And I like these swivels. I do use hook rings sometimes, but I don't think it gets separation from your hook shank up. I think you need some separation there, and this gives you enough. I think almost would like a little bit more. But this, yeah, fluorocarbon stiff does good. And then I leave a loop right here, and I do a quick swivel so I can change these out anytime I want. If I want to change it out, I just take it off that hook swivel. This will slide up there and hook it, or lock it into my hook swivel. My rods are 8-foot Daiwa Black Widows. These are my creek rods. I got some other ones, but I like these best. Got some other this Rig Safe, awesome too. I like this thing for keeping my rigs in. It's magnetic closure. Oh, that's why it wasn't closing right. Let that thing set in there. But yeah, see, it holds quite a few rigs. I really like it. Closes well. And since I liked it so well, I got, for all my rigging stuff right here, I think I seen somebody online have this. Somebody on my Facebook groups had one of these, and I thought, damn, that looks good. I thought it was bigger than this, but when it come in, it's just right size really for holding all my rig components, and it holds it good and tight. This thing, that magnets is all it holds these, and it holds good. But see, what's good about these, and I usually do the cheap ones, or did before, the ones I have, because I bass fish and everything else. So I got all them plastic Plano boxes that you just have dividers and you can move around. These here, they do not jump around from one thing to the next. You got some small components in these, and it comes with the labels, so you can label it. Comes with, if you put small components, they don't transfer from one thing to the other. It keeps them separated. You got plenty of spaces. I think they have bigger ones of these too. Almost wished I'd have gotten a little more spaces, but that's just me. I'm always got too much shit with me anyway. See, I've used my pack bait. This time I'm just using, I like to use those. I've been getting some PBA mesh bags, but if I make them ahead of time, it makes it so much easier. Although it was raining all night, it would have been rough here, I think, last night with those. They'd have melted on me possibly before I got them casted out. But I fill them with whatever I've got. I crush some boilies and just throw some stuff together, put in them to cast out here. Just stuff to pull them in. But this time I just went with my old standby of oats, panko, strawberry jello, and corn. and it packed great. I'm out now. I just ran out of it, so what I've got on there is it. If I fish more, we should quit raining. It might be a good time to pack up and head out. Although I'm gonna go home probably, and I think power came on for a while last night. Hopefully it got stuff in my refrigerator, freezer back to okay, and now I can, and it's back off again though, so I will probably work on something at the house. I got some outlets to put in, outlets and switches. But let's see what else I got. Sinkers, I'm still trying to settle on sinkers. I mean, it seems like I'm going through a lot with these new lead setups. I do the lead clips now, and I never used them before. I always used inline leads and never had an issue with losing leads. But for safety of the fish and everything, they say to drop the leads. I hate losing my leads. Thinking seriously about going back to inline leads, but I bought a lot of these. Here's the latest ones I found, and they were pretty cheap on Big Carp Tackle. They're 3-ounce ones, little dumpy pair of leads, and I got them for, I say cheap, they were still $1 something a piece. I like these because they hold on the bottom even in the current. They lay down there and don't catch the current, and they stay in the spot. But I've lost several of them already, and they're not cheap. They're like, what are they, $2, $2.50 a piece, almost $3. But these here are some other ones I bought. I mean, I just keep trying to figure out what I want, what I like, and what works. I like the heavier ones. I think I don't know, I think you're just better off to have the heavy ones. They set the hook themselves. I caught a buffalo too earlier. He was, I don't know, he probably 7 pounds, I'll bet. He put up a pretty good fight. At first he didn't. I didn't even know I had a bite. I was dozing off here. And I looked up and I see my line was coming in. It's hard to use drop back hangers on these in the creek here because stuff's always catching my line, and I'm always getting false alarms. And, so I didn't use them. Luckily I happened to see it. I catch buffalo a couple times here, and they are some weird biting fish. Let's see. Boilies, or my hook baits. Here's the Rui GP that I made up. You can see it's just filled corn. I put my own stuff. Got these little bottles I bought off of Amazon. A batch of them and make up a whole bunch of different ones. There's almond. And I just put in there with some water and not just water. I put that stuff in it as like a preservative itself. There's some Scopex green lip mussel mixture. I mixed the two goos. And this is what I've caught. I caught a lot on this and these. In fact, that's what I caught the buffalo on, was this anise flavored corn. They're filled corn I boiled. And then boilies I bought. And I buy way too many boilies, I think. I make a lot. Some of these you see in here are my own homemade boilies. I mean, they don't look nothing fancy. They're fish meal. Here's a big one. I should have put this on and tried it. But I did put these little ones on. I got to where I don't even boil my boilies. I just dry them out for a couple days. Thinking about using a non-egg mixture and making these. I don't care if they dissolve pretty quick. Here in the States, over in Europe, they boil them to keep their nuisance fish, which they have, you see, they're kind of soft. Because they have tench and barbel and brim and stuff that just get into they'll eat them if they're too soft. I guess that's what I've read. But here, it doesn't matter what we eat. What eats ours is turtles and catfish, and they don't care if they're rock hard. They're gonna eat the son of a bitches. I'm not kidding you. They don't care. So you might as well have them soft. Just replace them every so often. You're gonna have to anyway. Although I say that, and I didn't catch a catfish or carp the last 2 times, or catfish or a turtle the last 2 times I've been here. Maybe there's a grass carp right in front of me right now. Swimming just right out here in front, and not far out. He's probably a foot deep right there where he's at. But I buy these. Some of these, I bought these quite a while back. Keep them in the fridge, but They are from American Carp Society boilies. Those are the, I can't remember the flavor of them. Yeah, the flavor of these. Somebody who sees this video, they'll know it maybe. But they smell like motor oil or something. That's what I always thought. I don't know if I've even caught a fish off them. I've tried them a few times and they're big. I've cut them up and used them in my PVA bags stuff. This one here is another one from, yeah, this is a Mapex boilie from American Carp Society also. Again, I don't know if I've caught anything on, yeah, I think I have on these. They smell good though. And let's see. Oh, here's another one. This is, I can't remember what these are flavor. These are. This is another American Carp Society one. These are 20 mil boilies. The brown ones I showed you a minute ago, the American Carp Society are 24s. Oh, these smell real good. I can't remember if these are like the desert flavor. I don't remember what flavor it is, but and then these right here, the most expensive boilies I've ever bought, are from, but I've caught on them. They catch fish. These are Scopex flavored. They smell really good too. But I got them from, let's see, it's Carp Angler. Carp Angler, and he's got his own store, but he, Proline Baits made these for him, for these flavors. I don't know how much he really was involved in making them, but they do work. I have to say, I've used these. You know, I spent so much money on them. I thought better make sure. I don't know if I'll buy them again. I mean, if I catch enough fish on them, and but I've had a big fish on one here tonight. So I don't know. Proline Baits makes them. You can see their seeds and stuff in them, and they smell really good. And then these other ones, I bought these a long time ago from Nash. I bought a big old bag. These are on sale at Big Carp Tackle. These are strawberry flavored Nash ones. Again, don't know if I've caught fish on these, but I've chummed with them. I've used these for ground bait. I've bought a pretty big bag, but I don't chum with boilies much. Damn, I ain't rich enough. Those are smelling good too. So that's all the different boilies I bring with me. I just bring a little collection of them for hook baits. If I gonna feed them boilies, I usually just feed them my own that I make. And I got quite a few of these actually made now. And let's see what else. That's pretty much it for now. This chair right here is awesome. I got it. So set it up real quick. It folds down. It's real small, compact. I hiked down to the spot, so I need to have something that packs up decently. I still bring way too much shit, and then forget the stuff I need. Damn, these grass carp are all over out here in front of me. I keep seeing them passing under the top out there. Just stopped raining, so we're gonna have locals coming in here. It's Saturday and the holiday weekend, so I better pack up and get out of here because people don't come, and I don't like people. Well, that's it for now. That's all I'll talk about.